Hey, hello guys, hope you had a lovely week. This week we're talking about requirements gathering. So last session we covered what requirements gathering was. This session we're going to see if anyone's done their requirements to sort of share with us. If not, we'll basically end up discussing a little bit more about the requirements, because I actually end up missing some crucial points about requirements gathering, and my points end up waking up to me because there's a lady, KK, she does business analyst on TikTok, and she was basically doing a video of requirements gathering, and she mentioned two things. I was like, oh, that's true. That is part of requirements gathering that I forgot to really share with you. So one, if you do really want to get into business analyst, highly encourage you to get in touch with KK. Message me for her details. Two, just always know that, you know, even when we, let's say, do a session, afterwards, definitely still do your own research. As you know, it's only 1 hour, so it's like, it's just not feasible for me to remember to cover everything. And yeah, and if you do find something that, let's say, we covered in the session that it could have been useful, definitely share it with others as well. So I guess, did anyone do requirements gathering for this week? No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Only few people have done. We do have amazing Rachel joining us later, and she done her, or she started doing it. So essentially, we can see, like, I was really proud of how amazing she did it. So what we can go basically just see that as an example. And then next week, you guys will be presenting your requirements gathering. Another thing. Hey, Isaac, how are you? Everyone's traveling. Another thing that I was going to basically introduce today is, so essentially for this work experience program to be useful, people need to participate in the tasks, right? People need to, and it's compulsory to do the LinkedIn posts. So we're going to create a tracker. We're going to create a tracker. Maybe we can quickly do it now. I should have did it before the session, so my apologies. So maybe we can do it quickly now. It's going to be a simple tracker that basically shows, what's this to-do list? Let's do this. So, yalla. If I share it with you, because essentially for you to graduate from this training, you're gonna have to do a review. And with this review, you're gonna have to show evidence how for every task that we had, you basically completed it, right? So to make it easier, what I'll do is create, but actually I don't really like this. Let's just do it from scratch. Let's do it from scratch. Do it from scratch. Can you guys see my screen okay? Hey, Walana. How do you do? How do you do?
Hi.
How are
Very
you?
well, thanks.
How was your week?
Good.
Good.
Easy.
Busy. We love a busy. Busy is better than nothing. Busy is better than nothing.
And it's been windy since yesterday, so.
Is the storm Amy or something like this?
Mm-hmm.
She's crazy. She's crazy. She needs to go away. Why can't we not get a sunstorm? I want to be hot. I want to be warm. But yeah, no, thank you for joining. Hey, Anthony. Hope you had a lovely week. How was your week? So essentially what we was really going over with is, one, we're going to go into requirements gathering, see if anyone has done their requirements gathering for this week. I know a lot of people haven't did it, so essentially you'll be presenting them next week. However, what I've really wanted to create is basically a tracker. So for you guys to officially say that you've been part of this work experience, we're going to do like a review at the end. And I'm thinking of doing the first review end of October to see how you guys are getting on. And essentially, you know, the task that we're doing is compulsory. The LinkedIn posts are also compulsory. So to make it easier, I was going to basically make people use a tracker. Use a tracker to submit evidence that they have completed the required tasks, right? So the tracker will basically, it'll be a simple tracker. If anyone wants to, like, you know, amend this and make it bigger or better, then of course, always here. Guys, I'm being an auntie. Why is the screen so small? Okay, let me zoom in. You. So in this tracker, we basically gonna have a deliverable. So remember we done business case? Do you remember that? In the status, you'll basically put complete, or, you know, I don't know what status it should be. We could have complete or not completed. That's pretty much it. Complete or not completed. So essentially it should be complete because everyone who's been part of this should have completed a business case by now. If you haven't completed it yet, please have a look and get it back to me, because essentially what we're going to do at the end is go through this tracker, and if you haven't completed the required tasks, I'm not going to give you the certificate to say that you was part of the work experience. And I know it sounds a little bit tough, right? But essentially that's the whole point. I don't want people just saying like, oh, I joined the work experience program, I got this work experience, and people are calling me for a reference and saying, oh, did they complete a business case or stuff like that? And I'm there like, I don't know, you know, like if I want to be able to vouch for you at the end of the day as well, since you're putting Project Wetiko on your CV and on your LinkedIn, you have I have to, you know, do some quality assurance in this as well. So what we'll do is to put, let's say, business case, status complete, and then your evidence. Your evidence could basically be a link to your business case that you submitted to me. The evidence could be a screenshot of the feedback of the email that you gave me, or if it's a LinkedIn post, you'll basically just submit the LinkedIn post ID link as you go through. So essentially I'll do basically encourage people to do this as you go. So let's say at the end of this, you don't have to scramble through and go through things. So after the business case, you had a first LinkedIn post. Should we call it welcome LinkedIn post? And essentially from there, you'll put that you have completed it, and then you'll put a link of it, of the post, to basically just so we can track it. Then next will be requirements gathering. So after you've done the requirements gathering exercise, you mark it complete, give me the evidence for it. Then it'll be requirements LinkedIn post. I guess it was kind of requirements interim solution to make you understand LinkedIn post. After this, we're going to go into plans. So there's going to be a plan. There's going to be a plan LinkedIn post about plans. LinkedIn post. After plan. After plans, we're going to do risk management. Oh, risk management. I should time it with the session that I'm doing with APM on the 20th. So it's like the week before. LinkedIn could be full of risk stuff to bring awareness for all the risk management stuff. That would be cool. And then we'll have risk management LinkedIn post. So with this, essentially, the main goal is to, well, see what have you been working on. And two, I guess, even for you to have a tracker, you know, after you go through, you're like, what did we do on this work experience? You can say, oh, actually, I can show examples for a business case. I can show examples for the requirements gathering. You know, we also did Jira as well. And I'll probably even divide it into videos. So actually to even make sure you confirmed watched business case, onboarding, different. Do you remember, guys, that they had like the first video had like business case, onboarding, and basically different life phases, let's say. Life phases video. Because from that as well, I want people to just basically confirm that if you attended the session, I want you to just, you know, you can put it as a complete, or if you had to rewatch it, you also have to do that as well, just because you end up getting a track of the videos that you have watched or you haven't caught up. So any questions on the tracker? Any question? No? No?
Just a question. Is it going to, oh my God, I'm sorry. Is it going to be real time or like you can see it also, or is it just going to be for us and we get to submit to you?
So I guess, because I'm thinking, right, how many people are going to do it? Because I mean, I guess you could share a link with me, isn't it? It's up to you. If you would prefer, you can share the link with me and I have it live. If you want to just keep it and then when it comes to the reviews, you're able to submit it, you can basically do that as well. So I leave that one up to you if you want me to have visibility of it or not. If you want me to have visibility on it, basically just go to Google Sheets, create the spreadsheet, and basically share it here with the how to work experience tracker. And then here you can basically choose who you share it with. You know, so yeah, I'll leave that one up to you. We will be doing the first sort of review end of October, where Rachel's gonna help me put together basically a Google Forms, and you can submit this as part of the Google Forms as evidence. So yeah, one is to see where you guys are standing. Two, for me to really track who's done what, because essentially, you know, there's so many people, it's just not possible. I was gonna create this tracker and then have you guys as individual people here and tick it off. And I was like, oh, that'll get messy. And I feel like I'll probably make mistakes and miss people's stuff. So I'm gonna let you have ownership of that. So yeah, I'll share this tracker afterwards. I guess the only thing is because I didn't whole thing, it's like we change management as well. I'm gonna show you guys some change management. Change management. And then change management post. I want to also talk to you guys about minutes and action logs, because that's a big thing. And then if I do minutes and action logs, post, what else? I guess even stakeholder management. And then we'll do a stakeholder management post. And remember, after every workshop, it is mandatory for you to make a LinkedIn post. I also created this. I don't know if you guys have seen, and let me show you. Let me show you. Here. So with this one, where is it, guys? Oh, here you go. So with this, I also created this tracker for you to basically have everything like in one place. So essentially, you know, essentially it's like if you missed the requirements gathering workshop, you basically get to go and rewatch the video. You see what the outcome of it was. So the outcome is to know the importance of requirements gathering and why it's important, or to know requirements gathering and what. So I'm just putting the charge in place and why it's important. And then you get a follow-up action. So a LinkedIn post and requirements gathering in Jira. And then here you can basically see the templates for every week of what you should be posting on LinkedIn. One thing is, these templates are here to make your life easier. However, if you don't want to use these templates, you don't have to. I'm just making it as easy as I can for people. If you want to go ahead and tailor it to you, or tailor it. I know someone was in the legal sector, so basically every week where we do stuff, she tailors it to the legal sector, you know. So really, you can tailor it as you like, do whatever you would like. Have Project Will Takeover and Palto in the hashtags. And you could basically tag me and Project Will Takeover page in those as well. I can repost it. And yeah, and as you are doing your LinkedIn post, please share it into the group chat, because essentially, let's support each other. You know, sometimes it's a bit nerve-wracking posting on LinkedIn and you think no one's going to interact with you and stuff like that. So let's support each other's posts. Let's comment, share, like, let's connect with each other on the work experience, start building a little community. And hopefully the main thing as well is LinkedIn can make us feel uncomfortable to post. So hopefully by the time of this work experience, LinkedIn is like second nature to you guys, because you just got used to it and you got rid of all the stigma in your head about LinkedIn, you know. And I'm hoping as well that you see how powerful LinkedIn is, you know. I want you to guys see how the more you stay consistent on LinkedIn posting stuff, the more you will be able to, just build your brand, and recruiters will start messaging you. Another thing that people do a lot is them like open to work posts. And at the end of the day, it's a bit boring, isn't it? Like, no one really wants to go and read all them open to work posts. So don't just post when you're looking for work. Post all of your knowledge as well. So you're known as an expert, as a specialist in certain areas. So people can get to know you. So I guess, is there any questions on this work experience content tracker? This was just to make it easier, because essentially every time someone new would also join, I'll be there posting all of these separately. And I'm like, no, we can't. We can't be doing that, you know. So yeah, this is tracker to make that easier. And then LinkedIn post ideas is just to make your life easier as well. I'm going to change the due date too. It was due last week. However, I also didn't make the post. I also didn't make the post last week because life ended up getting in the way. So it's like I can't really scrutinize you guys for not making it if I also didn't make the requirements gathering post. So the new deadline will be this Monday. Monday, what is Monday, y'all? This Monday the what? Monday the 6th. So by Monday the 6th, everyone should sort of go and make a post about requirements gathering. If you wasn't part of the session, just go and re-watch it. Then next week I'm gonna make you guys present the requirements gathering. And hopefully, I mean, let me know if anyone else did do anything and you're ready to go this week. We'll gladly take it as an example. I did have someone join in because she did hers. However, I do know she was running late, so let's see. Hopefully we get to see her. So I guess, any questions on the tracker, any questions on this whole work experience content? Is it making sense what this shows? Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. All right, Julio's, and then LinkedIn. Is the LinkedIn expectations clear? So after every session, you need to make a LinkedIn post. This will be tracked in your tracker. I haven't decided out the LinkedIn post, let's say what your passing rate is, but it'll be something like 85%. So let's say if there was 10 LinkedIn posts and you only made like 2 LinkedIn posts, you're basically not gonna qualify to finish. I guess, should we call it graduation? You're not gonna qualify to graduate. And I mean, I know life gets in the way, so sometimes you might have to catch up. So, if you wanna go and then just do 1 week where you end up catching up all the LinkedIn posts and posting about it, I will still allow that to be counted. However, please do keep up to the deadlines mentioned in this column here. So it makes it easier for us to just keep pushing and going and, and getting the feel in it. Because essentially what people was even saying, like the other day, we end up flooding people's LinkedIn because everyone was posting about it. So that's one thing I also want. I want this to come in like floods. So people are like, what's all these Project Will Takeover posts? Like, what's going on here? Like, what? And with that way, we can build a what should I call it? We can build a I was going to say a gang, but we don't affiliate ourselves with gangs. A strong, powerful committee that, like, you know, when people know, like, oh wow, like, look, Project Woteco are people on job, like, you know, and if you're part of Project Woteco, well, I know you're also on job. That's what I want to get to. So, any questions on the tracker? Very clear. So I shared this with you after the session. We are probably gonna amend these as we go, and you know, as I add other stuff in as well. Oh, workshop! I'm gonna make you guys host a workshop, facilitate a workshop. So if you don't want to talk about it, you facilitate workshop. If you guys don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. If you don't want to talk about it, I mean, if you don't want to talk in a workshop, you don't have to. We'll find someone who wants to talk, or if we don't find someone else, you know me and my many words. The reason I want to make you guys host a workshop is because it's actually a workshop facilitation is a big thing, and I facilitated a workshop at university, and I rinsed that workshop on my CV as an example of how I can facilitate workshops, so you know, do stakeholder management and all of this. So yeah, I'm gonna make you guys do this. So hopefully not too overwhelming. We'll amend this as we go, but for now I'll share this with you. And yeah, any questions? Why is it not disappearing? Move out my way. Beautiful. No questions. Beautifulies. Okay, coolios. So now to go into a little bit of a. Does someone unmute? No. We'll go into a little bit of a little bit of a refresher. If you missed the last session, do definitely watch it for like the in-depth overview of what stakeholders requirements gathering is and everything like that. So essentially, when we get a project, you get a project to complete. However, you don't know what that project actually needs to contain. So if we're building a house, you know, you can build a million of different houses. It can be different floors. It can be a villa. It could be a mansionette. It could have 5 windows. It could have 1 window. It could have a swimming pool. So what you would do for that project is go around and say, what do you want this house to have? So, you know, and then what we usually do is we segregate, and we have access to the Jira board. So I can give you access to this Jira board, but only 10 people can access this one on the free account. So let's say I could give access to the first 10 people because I'm not paying for Jira, but I'm basically encouraging you guys to go and create your own Jira board and then add me on it. Have you and your team in it playing if you're doing it as a team, as a group. But if you want, I can give you access to this Jira board, but it's only the first 10 people because after the 10 people, it ends up being like you have to pay, and I'm not going to pay for them. I'm not going to do it. So if you would like it, drop me a message on WhatsApp and I can get you into this Jira board as an example. But yeah, definitely create your own and essentially create your own and essentially share it with me, you know. So just a little refresher. Hey Jen, hey Rachel, how are you ladies? How are you? How was your week?
It was okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm glad to hear. Your answer changed from the earlier session. Yeah, it was hectic. Now you're feeling better? Yeah, okay, let's go. I'm just giving people a quick overview of the tracker. So basically now we got a tracker of, if you want to complete this work experience, you're going to have to fill out this tracker of all of the deliverables that we've done, including the LinkedIn posts, and submit evidence. Rachel's going to help me with a form to basically do like a review end of the month to see what status you are in. And I was just giving a quick overview of all of the content tracker as well. So essentially, if you missed a session, this is like where you can go and see where to watch stuff, you know, what the outcome of it was and what the follow-up action was, and as well as LinkedIn post ideas. So after this session, this was due last week, but like I said, I didn't do it either, so I can't really scrutinize you guys when I also didn't post it. So the new deadline is for this Monday. So you make a post about the stakeholder requirements. And again, if you want to use this as it is, feel free. If you want to tailor it, even if you want to use everything new, feel free, whatever you feel, but to make it easy, I got this. And essentially, if you could please hashtag Project Will Takeover and hashtag Palto so I can track it, and tag me and Project Will Takeover on your post so I can repost and support from both accounts as well. And when you do your LinkedIn post, please share it into the group chat so we can all help each other and support each other so you don't feel like no one's interacting with your posts. And another thing I will say, some of my LinkedIn posts get picked up like 2 months after on the algorithm. So if you feel like you're not getting stuff now, don't worry, because it's so weird how LinkedIn works. So now from the quick overview, as we mentioned, requirements gathering is essentially knowing what the project needs to deliver for it to be satisfied by the stakeholders. As we use the house as an example, so for example, you always want to have a user group or stakeholder group, whoever you got the requirements from, to really know what side of the requirements they're coming from, and then you can really know that from that group of stakeholders you got the requirements. So let's say for this house example, you might be doing it in your family, right? So you could say, as a daughter, I want to have a swimming pool. You'll say, as a dad, I want to have a garage. And then you go into prioritizing it either high, medium, or low to know which one you focus on. Or we actually use Moscow prioritization in project management. So it's must have, won't have, was have, should have, could have, won't have. And, you know, if someone marks the requirement as a must have, like you really know you need to deliver the requirement. So yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, KK did a really good, like she scrambled my brain when I saw the video about requirements gathering. So in project management, there's 2 types of requirements gathering. Functional requirements, what is like the what the company will have, and the non-functional requirements is like how the requirements will work. So a great example, on the earlier session, I just wanted to get Project Will Takeover community's input as well. So someone actually said, for the solution, she would want to have a chat box where you can leave questions and someone gets back to you. So this will be an example of the functional requirement because it's the what. Whereas non-functional requirements would say, I would have a chat box where someone answers the question within 12 hours. So it's like the how. And I found this great article. Maybe I'll share it with everyone after. And essentially just goes into what are functional requirements and what the non-functional requirements. So consider functional requirements the what of your software, the building blocks that bring your software to life. It outlines the specific features and functionalities and the systems must possess. It includes actions it must perform, the task it must complete, and the data it must process. Functional requirements define what system or its component must do, outlining the specific features and functionalities it needs to possess. They essentially describe the what of the system, detailing the outputs and responses. So, you know, just those few key characteristics, steps for writing functional requirements as well. And then non-functional requirements. So non-functional requirements are the how of your software to ensure that a system meets the needs of its users and its stakeholders. It focuses on the specifications that describe how a system should perform rather than what it should do. It includes the qualities and the characteristics of the system, influences overall performance, usability, and experience. As an example, it could be the system should respond to a user actions within 2 seconds. The application should be accessible with users with disabilities. The data stored in the system must be secure and protected from authorized access. So that's sort of the difference. So what I'll do is I'll share this with you guys. And another good thing that KK mentioned was acceptance criteria, and that is very true. So from each requirement, and I think you even have it here, define acceptance criteria. So from each requirement that you have, how do we confirm that the each requirement is met, whether through testing, whether through sign-offs, whether through deliverables? So, for example, here, the requirement is to have a secure platform, right? However, to know the acceptance criteria, we could then break it down. So to have a self-test secure platform, is it safe login information? So when someone gives me the login information of the platform, is it safe? We do a test or we do a sign-off to confirm. Just have a secure platform. Make sure the platform is not used by someone else. So then you sort of start breaking it down into the different acceptance criterias. So hopefully that made sense. And you really can then have due dates to really see when they should be due. But essentially what happens is you create the requirements, you take the requirements and turn it into a plan. So then it's like we create a plan, how do we achieve the secure platform? So you break it down into tasks and everything that you need to do. And and then you categorize it. If you do sign off something as a must-have, so that means it must happen. If you're no longer able to deliver that as part of the project, you basically need to go and confirm with the stakeholder in writing that this must-have is now a won't-have. And, usually what we say is that we're going to put it in the backlog of work. So if we do have spare time, or if we do end up doing a continuation of the project, we will end up doing it there. But so your requirements will actually change as the project happens. You probably will get new requirements as well. If you get new requirements as the project happens, you need to submit a change request and you need to explain why the change happened and why you want to change the requirements essentially, and then it gets signed off by the stakeholders in the business. And it's usually a change management board and stuff that you have to go through to get it signed off that you can do it. And the similarly with if this was a must-have and now it's a won't-have, you have to go through the change management procedure to really change that up. And it really depends what you prefer. You want to do it in priority view? Do you want to do it in it's like more scope prioritization? It's really up to you. Usually it ends up being at work must have and a nice to have. And if it's a nice to have, finance is like, no, we're not paying for that. You don't need it. So any questions on stakeholder requirements gathering? This was like a quick overview. If you watched last week's video, like we go into way more detail. No question? Is it clear then? Is it clear what requirements gathering is? Let me see your thumbs up if it's clear. See your thumbs up. Yeah, we see no thumbs up. No thumbs up. I mean, because that's another thing. I just want you guys to really know. Like, if you've got a question, I don't want you to sit there and then be like, oh, I feel like I can't do this requirements gathering because I don't understand it. Like, always let me know if you've got a question. Hey, Olatomoriba.
I just wanted to add to the requirements gathering. Can we have like a board where people can put in their documents or their files, maybe like arrange their project plan, their business case, their communication plan document, stuff like that, so that it's going to be more organized. What do you think?
On this work experience?
Yes, like on the requirements gathering board.
Oh, on here?
As part of a functional requirement. Like as a user, I want to be able to find each document that's organized, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Finding documents easy in an organized way, isn't it?
Yes, in an organized way.
An organized way. Thank you. And then what I'll do is I'll put that as the user, because so as a user, you want to so you want to make sure you can find documents easy in an organized way. And I guess what would your priority be? for this requirement? Pretty high, right?
I
And I'm assuming, and it really depends. You don't have to do both. I'm just doing both for the sake of showing you guys the difference. But then it would basically be a must-have, isn't it, for you? It wouldn't be a nice to have. It's like you really want to have that in the platform.
yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And that's how you kind of end up doing it. So you go on a meeting, you cause a workshop, and you're like, all right, guys, what do you want? And then people end up giving it to you. The risk is if you do requirements gathering under a short amount of time, you know how your brain just forgets stuff. So the risk is if you're doing it, like I think our requirements, we had to sign off within a week. So the risk is that we missed a lot of requirements because one, people, just genuine people, like, when you say they're like, oh, I didn't think of this, I didn't think of that, I didn't think of this. So that's one thing. If you do requirements gathering under such a quick amount of time, you risk missing some of the requirements because we just forget as people, isn't it? So yeah, that is basically how the requirements board is looking. Like I said, break it down into acceptance criteria. You can do it individually, you can do it as a team, whatever you guys prefer. And yeah, I guess if there's no questions, Rachel, are you still ready to share your board or are you feeling shy now?
Still shy, but I don't mind.
Don't be shy.
So mine is kind of like, well, slightly different. Because I did like mine is a bit mixed of like functional and non-functional requirements. But I'm gonna share my screen now, and then you'd be able to see what I'm talking about.
Yes. I even think your ones even had a bit of mixture of like actual going into like a plan of it as well. Like it looked like a plan how to achieve those requirements. Yeah. But I like it. I was really impressed with your one, guys. I was really impressed. And you proper broke it down into epic stories. It was beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see. But let's see.
You said you would have sweet butter. And I like to make it what.
So, Jane, is it background info you're asking us? I feel like it's background, isn't it?
It's all finished.
So, Jane, I'm muted just because you got a lot going on in the back. Oh, yeah, it should hopefully let you screenshot. I don't think I need to give anything. Or anything. Oh, beautiful. There she goes.
Sorry, it takes a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just like the summary overview, and first things first, we're going to show the list. So this is how mine looks like. So just to confirm if everybody can see it, because I'm not seeing it the way you guys are seeing it. So if you can't see a particular thing, do let me know.
We can see.
Okay. So in terms of the project itself, I have basically, I guess, let me just start with like the business case. So like I have basically thought of like breaking it down into like different versions of what the Project World platform should look like. So the main requirement, I've broken it down basically into like stages of like what would need to like be done. So for the first thing is user needs and journeys. And when I was creating this sort of like epic, it was like, oh, we need to understand the user needs, and basically that would entail what the user actually wants from this platform, and then it's broken down into another section, which when I was saying before, first things first, this needs to be discussed. So this actually needs to be planned out. We've said, okay, we need to get the user needs and the journey. So how are we going to come around that? So I said, for example, we would have an idea document. So here on status, it's been grouped into a few platforms. So the first thing is like the idea case. So this is whereby we're actually all brainstorming and actually going into different meetings and workshops under this to actually discuss exactly what needs to be done, what exactly do we need. And then after that, that needs to be reviewed first before we actually go into the rest of the stuff that perhaps we have discussed. So for example, after the idea document, and this is going to be the platform whereby more likely documents are going to be shared, meetings are going to be had, especially like with the stakeholder and stuff. And then this is an idea case because there's nothing actually being like confirmed. It's just where everything is going to be, almost like a rough work. And then the next thing, we have the confirmed requirement report, which I did a little bit like, you know, once you have the idea, it needs to be confirmed by the stakeholder or like the senior project manager as well, and those who are like above you if you are like, you know, the secondary person of the project. And then as an I can't say this right, but Asani, you have like different people, which I created like literally on top of my head. So I have like my senior manager, I have the PM team members who we don't know, I have the user researchers, I have the IT security team, I have obviously our project manager here. And we have our software developer, and last but not least, I should have included the stakeholder. So the stakeholder would actually be among these people. So, but we're going to represent them as Geda here, if I'm pronouncing your name right. So she's our stakeholder slash project manager, and obviously, like I said, I've created a tab here. So we're going to put her here because she's the one that actually needs to review that, most likely, and probably will be discussing with me. And then after the idea document, and then it's confirmed, we then obviously have a report. So now we have these which are breaking down, and then the main task would be to define the user personas, which is basically like almost like a collective proper research on what exactly the goals the user, as a user, you'd be like, oh, I need to find out, I need to know what my goals are, I need to know why I'm feeling frustrated as maybe like an entry-level project manager, what I need to maybe grow as a project manager. And this will come under, again, ISANI user researchers, because that's their job. Maybe obviously somebody else will be overseeing that, which might also be the senior project manager and me if I was technically the project manager as well. So stuff like that, and then more goals. And then another section, which is mapping out the user journey. So this is actually setting that into place. And then you have like almost a collective result. And then after that, like I said, it's broken down again into actual steps on how to actually get there. So that's why mine is almost like a mixture of like the non-functional and the functional. But altogether, these are the actual like platforms that would make up the project management as a whole. But then there's like steps behind that. And then for each of this like map user journeys, there will be obviously an idea document as well. So that I should have actually put down there just to reflect. So there will be like an initial like meetings, whether that's with the senior project manager or your team as well, that needs to get this done. In terms of mapping it out, so like for example, mapping learn flow, networking, that may be, I don't know, maybe the maybe marketing or something that would actually be in that and discuss in terms of like how do we get people to join, who are those people that needs to network and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I also, in terms of priority, I've just put everything as medium. For some are low, so I put like the user as low because we haven't gotten to that part yet. And then obviously we need to obviously discuss exactly what needs to actually be put in place. So this is the highest priority. Put myself a due date, which is the November the 29th. And I left the comments for comments. So whenever anybody like needs to put a comment. And then we have like, there's also another section right at the end, which I decided to put like a drop-down list, which I discussed with Geda yesterday. So because I was trying to actually point it out, like, you know, defining what is actually the business, like the business priority and what is the user priority as an overview, so that whoever it is, they can, okay, this is a user. You're basically adopting a user mindset, not a business mindset, and then it just makes things clarify for everybody else. So is my business case, and then the rest of them is just so like technical requirements, content requirements. So that's in terms of actual content, and then stakeholder requirements, and then performance and KPIs. But I've not actually broken those yet. And all of that are all in like the idea case, because it's not actually been like confirmed. This is just what we've broken down first. And that's it.
No, thank you so much. Honestly, looks amazing. Can you guys see? And can you guys also see the difference how in the stakeholder group, she used drop down list, I used the label. So it doesn't really matter what you use, it's really your preference. And it's going to be like that at work as well. You can even keep it as a free field where you go and message it every time. But then for you to just the main thing that I always say, even if you're doing this in Excel, because a lot of time it will basically just be in Excel because, you know, people don't really encourage project management tools in organizations as much. In Excel, you can also create drop-down lists. And anytime you have information where you feel like it's repetitive, even star rag status, green, amber, red, rather than making people type amber, red, green, which doesn't seem like a lot, but imagine if you're entering like 10 risks, for you to enter that again and again, it does become annoying. So it's like just find a way how to make people's life easier. So if there's a lot of repetitive information, or like you see how she has as a status as well, so it's like every time she doesn't have to put idea case. So that's the thing. But no, I'm very impressed. Does anyone have any questions on Rachel's board? Let us know. Let us know. No. Has it been useful to sort of see it from a different perspective as well? Because remember, whatever I show you is not the standard. It's really whatever you prefer. Yeah, another functional requirement can be a board where people can put in their documents, files, the project plan, document, business case. Oh, I think you end up even saying that, right? Earlier. Sorry, I just also just seen it now. Man, no, I really like it. I just, can you see, guys, she kind of broke it into how we're going to get to the requirements gathering as well. It's like she broke the whole actual user needs and journeys and how do we get there? How do we go into the idea document? So this is like a little bit mixed with functional requirements, non-functional requirements, and like the actual plan to get there. To make it easier, I would say just separate the functional and non-functional requirements together, and then create like, you know, the little flow of everything that needs to happen for you to get to these requirements and how you're going to gather it as a plan. And usually that's what we basically have. In the plan, you'll basically have, you know, you need to do stakeholder requirements gathering. You break it down into all the things that you need to do, and the gathering exercises like in a different folder, because it ends up just being easier for you to see the difference. But I like it. It was really cool. I guess from your perspective, when you was doing it, one, do you feel like it's allowed you to see how Jira works and get more familiar with it?
Just give me 1 second.
And that's why I really want you guys to do it in Jira, to really basically get used to Jira. So that's another thing. Oh, I was updating people. I'm having a recruiter the other week, and she was saying that Jira and Confluence is like the main two project management tools that stakeholders ask her for candidates to have. So yeah. Back now, apologies. Hello, my lovely, welcome back. So
Sorry. Just I have literally family at home, so so where's that? Here we go.
what did I say? I guess
So,
I said, do you feel like doing this exercise in Jira allowed you to get more familiar with the platform?
yes, it did. And just another tip that really helps. Jira has like I don't know if you knew this, but they have literally like and free access learning platform, so they teach you like all the like extra stuff as well. And that was like, you know, it's just in case if anyone didn't know that. So in case you're not understanding something, like they kind of show you
Yeah.
all of like how it works and everything. So it did really help. And then when you explained about the requirements gathering, I knew like, oh, I wasn't sure whether, oh, but is this part of it? But I was like, let me just put everything there. And then obviously when giving feedback, you'll be able to just kind of tell, okay, this is different, this is where it needs to be. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
no,
really good. So,
no, well done for doing it. It looks amazing, honestly, very impressed. As I was watching it yesterday, and I remember if you saw my eyes, I was like, what? You actually did it so good. So definitely, and that's the main thing, isn't it? Whenever we do anything, it's like there's always like, chances to get feedback and to do it. So never be scared to do stuff. And even if it's not right, we can fix it. Or for example, you see how I covered requirements gathering and I saw KK make a video about requirements gathering. And I was like, oh my God, that's true. I didn't tell them about functional versus non-functional. I didn't tell them that this is acceptance criteria. So we're always gonna find stuff out. And as you guys are finding stuff out, even as we're doing these sessions, jump into the group chat. Hey G, I know we did this, and actually I found this useful as well to help me. So then you never know who we could help. It could also help me as well. I guess, should I put you under pressure? Would you be able to show people how you created from the epics to the stories to the subtasks? Or is that too much under pressure? Is that too much under
yeah,
pressure?
sure.
Yeah, come on, show us. Show it to us.
Okay,
That's always nice
so
to see someone else do it as well.
uh, here we go. Okay. So the first thing I did, now this is a little bit, I feel like on my laptop is different, but obviously everybody's laptop will do something. So first things first, creating the epic, it's here. But the first thing before you start typing is to know whether is this an epic here, right? This button, feature, task, story, bug, asset. Now, another thing I realized was if you do an epic, it automatically goes down to being a story, then it goes down to being either a story or a task. Because if you pick a task, you get a subtask. And if you pick a story, you'd get a subtask. You wouldn't get a task and then a subtask, just so that everybody understands that. But I'll show you guys. And then if you do like just a random epic and then you do that. So then obviously that changes. And then you have, I'm just gonna put me 10. And then sorry, that's spelling error there, but oh well. Did it go? Yeah, meetings. So if you put meetings, I like to go directly on this document here because it makes things a little bit easier. And then you could go right to child work items, which is whereby the actual task is, and then you can go here as well, and then you make sure that you know what categories it is. So it's epics, story, and then subtask, or is it epic, task, and then subtask? But that's up to you how you want to do that. So I'm going to do a story, and then I'm going to be like review of project analysis or whatever that is, and then that goes down. Now that has been created, and then you can now, like, if you go back or if you want to like create something on here, you can just go directly here and you go down. But I wanted to show you, like, it's going to say a subtask, not a task, because it wouldn't allow you to do that. So just in case anybody, so you can see here, it will give you like a subtask. It won't give you like a task. So just in case anybody finds that confusing. And then you now put in the subtask that you need. So that's how I did it. And it just makes things slightly easier. And then you have your description. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. And I guess in your view, how would you describe the difference between epic, story, and a subtask?
I would say the epic story is like almost, I think of it as this is the idea. Okay, if let's say I'm speaking with you, for example, and I'm like, okay, I have an idea to create like an aerospace, I don't know, aerospace dinner or whatever. The idea is the dinner. in aerospace. So then I would put that down, and then what exactly would make up the dinner in aerospace would be a collaboration of people, which would be the story in my perspective. And then from the story, you then get the subtask, which would be, okay, you have to have meetings. So then you have like obviously the idea case, you have meetings with you and I discussing like, okay, this is what needs to happen. And then you have the like, okay, the collaborators themselves. So that would be meetings with the collaborators. And then finally, approval, signatures, trials or like fees. Is there fees there? And then it goes down and down like that. So I feel like the difference between an epic and a story is that the epic is literally the idea, and you're just putting that down, like you're just combining it into like 2 words minimum, and then you're going to expand those 2 words into like, okay, we have lunch, supper, whatever that is, and then that would be like the story, and then it just branches off from there.
Oh, I like that. Now, it's always interesting to hear it from other people's perspectives as well, how they see it. So the way I see it as well, when you have a project, you want to break those projects into main milestones that you need to do to achieve. Sorry, guys, my money got locked away from just starting. So you need like main milestones to achieve that project, and then you break those milestones into stories that are needed to achieve that milestone. And from those tasks and those stories to achieve that task, you basically just keep breaking it down. I guess it's basically just to track what needs to be done for you to achieve what you need to achieve for that idea, isn't it? Yeah, no, that was really good. I guess, does anyone have any questions for our amazing Rachel? That was really good. And actually, if you haven't noticed, my board doesn't show epics. When you're creating a board at the start, it basically asks you what you want to have as options. And I missed out epics as my option. So if you don't see epics, it basically just you need to go and configure your board so it shows all of the other fields and stuff as well. So yeah, no, thank you so much. That was really useful. I'm very impressed. That was really good. It was like a really good start. And, hopefully now as well, if you ever got a question about Jira and anything, in your interviews, you can really showcase how you know how to use Jira just by knowing how to break it down from epics to stories to subtasks to knowing how to assign owners to having due dates. You're really able to showcase the example for so many different things. So if they said, how do you get visibility of how your project is doing? You can basically say, as a team, we worked on creating a plan in Jira. We broke it into epics and subtasks and stories. And from there, we had different owners, different due dates, different priorities. So I'd be able to access this tool and actually see the progress of the project as of now. Or if it's like a question about risk management, you can say you manage your risks and you're allocated it for people. People was able to provide essential place. Is this meeting being recorded? Yes, it is. Would you like me to take your part out of the meeting? Is that why you asked, or you just want to rewatch it? Because I was gonna basically share
just to make sure to rewatch it. That's all. No,
Okay.
it's fine. It can be on there.
Okay, perfect. Because I was gonna say, I add those every session that we do. I kind of add it for us to for people to rewatch and stuff online. And so if you ever do anything and you're like, no, G, I don't want it online, please let me know, as I'm under right now how we're doing. Don't get me wrong, there was one session where I went and I was like, nah, there's no way. I was like, I have to chop off that comment and that comment and that comment and that comment. And even from the earlier session, we was talking about stuff and I was like, yeah, before that session goes up, I need to go back and chop it up because I don't want to release like stuff, especially if we're like bad mouthing a company or something. Do you get what I mean? So don't worry, I'll always protect you if there's anything in there that I'm like, ugh. But other than that, I'm always gonna sort of, share these recordings and stuff for people to rewatch and everything. So thank you. That was really useful. I mean, hopefully you guys seeing it from Rachel's perspective made it easier to understand and gave you some ideas as well. And yeah, I guess, does anyone have any questions for Rachel, for me, just in general? No questions? Okay, beautiful. So remember, I'm gonna share, let me screen share. Remember, I'm gonna share a tracker for you to fill out every time that you do this. So technically now, after you do your requirements gathering, you're able to go and mark this as incomplete and attach evidence, whether it's a screenshot or a link to it, whatever you prefer. Then your LinkedIn post. So you do need to make a LinkedIn post by Monday. If you're struggling, you don't know what to do, remember it's in the work experience content area, and essentially here you'll be able to get ideas, on the LinkedIn post that is due by 8 p.m. I'm gonna basically, what I'll suggest for you guys to do as well is to basically schedule. So I don't know if you know, on LinkedIn you're able to schedule stuff. Let me guys show you quickly. Yalla. So if you go post, and it does look different on your TV on your phone versus thing. Can you see it's got a little thing here? So if you want to schedule posts in advance, I highly recommend, because you know how life is, you end up sort of, going around and not really having the time and capacity to really do it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today, schedule the post. Actually, I should just post it today. Actually, maybe I'll schedule it for Monday. For some reason, I feel like weekends people are not as active on LinkedIn. So yeah, remember the post is due by Monday 8 p.m. Your requirements gathering. I signed up for an all-day workshop with my business coach. So next week I won't going to be here, but I'm going to ask someone in Project World Takeover community to basically join and kind of carry out your guys' review, and then we will send Fatim in there so it can be recorded. So essentially I can rewatch it and provide you in feedback as well. So you got away for 1 week not doing the requirements gathering. Next week you will not be getting away. And yeah, so I'll share the tracker. If you want to change up the tracker, you can. Rachel's gonna help me create this form, but essentially at the end of the month, we're gonna do a review of how far you've come and what have you learned. And essentially that we're going to be using this tracker to see if you graduate from the work experience. So from all of the, let's say from all of these stakeholder management and risk management and stuff, you're going to have to complete these. For LinkedIn posts, I'm going to create like a passing rate, but I think I'll make the rate, let's say 85%. So if we was supposed to post 10 times, actually 85 doesn't make sense, 80. So if you're supposed to post 10 posts, if you only posted 6 of those, that would be 60%. You will not be passing. So yeah, just bearing that in mind. And remember, if you do want to catch up on stuff and post a few posts in the day, like in the week throughout, you always can. But this is compulsory, and this is part of you building your brand, and also just really showcasing that what you've learned. And what I really want you guys to get from the LinkedIn posts is LinkedIn becomes so comfortable at the end that after your work experience, it's like a no-brainer for you to continue using it. I think someone made a comment. Why can I not find comments today? What's going on here? What you guys say? Hey, did you record the lesson? I've missed some part of it. Yes. I recorded this session. For requirements gathering, last week's session does have way more information if you want to go through. But if you missed today's session, please do it just as a little catch up. And another thing, Rachel showed us her requirements gathering board and everything that she did amazing things in it. So please rewatch today's session. What I'll do is I'll add it in here. I'll upload a video and add it in right here in the tracker, so you can go back and rewatch it. So yeah, that's basically it. I know some of y'all just woke up and joined now. So if you've got any questions, feel free to stay. If you don't have any questions, have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for, still showing up, for still doing and taking action. I'm really excited. And people was really like people have started noticing on LinkedIn what's happening. So, and this is just the beginning. So the more that we do it, like we will be known for doing this more and more. And that's what I really want people to know. Like if you're associated with Project Takeover, it's like your own job. So yeah. What did Morov said? He said, I just joined, how do I catch up on the session? So there's this tracker here. And essentially, can you see the first session was the onboarding and project and lifecycle business case session. So you watch this session, then there's a business case document for you to download to create the business case. It basically shows what the outcomes from the session was as well. So in the first session, we learned the different phases of projects with different methodologies. We also covered how do you create a business case and realize why we need a business case and why it's important for our projects. The follow-up action was to complete a business case. From there, then the next session was LinkedIn expectations and phase 1 of the project. So I did actually end up breaking down this project because I realized for me to keep you guys throughout the whole entire project, you guys just gonna start dropping in everything. So catch up on that, and we really go into why LinkedIn is important and what should be posting. And then one of the follow-up actions is like to share a LinkedIn post. So then buzzy. I'm gonna mute you, Buzzalele. There's a lot of background noise coming from you. And then from there, basically, guys, remember that every session that we do, there'll be a LinkedIn post to post. So if you haven't posted yet, and one of the first LinkedIn posts is basically just you announcing that you're excited to join Project Will Takeover on this project. These are basically here for you to make it easier. If you want to create your own, if you want to tailor it, whatever, this is just here to make it easier for you, but you don't have to use it. The only thing is I ask is that you do hashtag not project features. They're not part of our life no more. They're not part of our life no more. If you hashtag Project Will Takeover and hashtag Palto, so then this way I can track who's posted these, and also tag me and Project Will Takeover as well, so I can repost it and see. And this is the post for this week's as well. So this was about requirements gathering. So this post is due by 8 p.m. on the Saturday. And I also recommend, we got this tracker now, right, where you put status that like complete. I'll maybe be able to make it easier. Put a little drop down list, like complete versus non-complete. Drop down. And we'll do complete, complete, not complete. Well, I guess for the sake of to make it easier for you to track how your post started. And, you know, again, you can really put whatever you prefer in here. And yeah, so let's say as you do this requirements gathering LinkedIn post, go and just mark it complete. So when we are doing the reviews, you don't have to go and start scrambling for everything. As evidence for LinkedIn posts, please share the link to your LinkedIn posts. For requirements gathering, it will either have to be a screenshot of, let's say, the email when you submitted and provide and got feedback. Or again, if it's a Jira, you can share a link in here. So with the evidence, I'm pretty flexible because I'm not sure yet what's the best one. So let's see how it goes. Because I mean, even if we put screenshots in here, or as part of evidence, when we were talking about Rachel, you might have to just add it individually, like a screenshot of the email where you submitted the evidence, the screenshot of the email, and you submit that onto the Google form. But if you have all of this ready, when it comes down for the reviews that we do, it'll be really easier for us to basically see what stage you stand in. And if you haven't completed these stars because they're mandatory, you're not going to be able to basically say that you completed a work experience because, well, I don't really want people saying they complete work experience with Palto when they actually haven't really done much. And then it's like I'm vouching for people. So I will not be providing no references, no nothing, and you're not allowed to put Project Will Takeover in your CV until you have basically completed this tracker. When we do the review, you'll get a certificate. So that's for all the newbies. Hopefully that was clear. So if you are new, you have to catch up on a lot of the stuff. And I guess, I don't know, let me know as newbies, like, so let's say, for example, this is going to be 4 videos for you to catch up on. I want to know if you guys are finding it. I just realized I wasn't sharing my screen the whole time. Was I? I wasn't. Was I sharing? Oh, was it sharing? Was I sharing? No? Oh my Jesus God. Okay, let me quickly share this whole time. Ugh, you know, the whole, okay, cool. So to make it make sense now, there's this tracker that basically covers everything that we did. As we said, like all the content and the video recap as well, the materials that you need to use, the outcomes of it, and the follow-up actions. This is the LinkedIn post ideas. Where you can basically use this as a poll, as an idea. Remember, you don't have to use it. And here is the tracker that I'll send out to everyone as well. So you'll be filling out this individual tracker, and as we do your reviews, you'll be submitting this tracker as part of your evidence to say, what have you done so far? So that's the story, longest story short. But yeah, and I mean, if you are a new joiner, please let me know how it is with the catch-ups, because I guess it might get to a stage where I can't let people join anymore, because if it's a lot of catch-up, is it worth it for you guys, you know? So do please let me know your thoughts. If you feel like it's too much to catch up on, well, you can join us at the next phase. But yeah, so that is the story of Balamori. Any question or arrows? Any question or arrows? No question or arrows? No? No, no, no? No question or arrows? No? Okay, so everyone's clear. Next week, by Friday, 6 p.m., please submit your requirements. Send it to me on email. You'll be presenting them next week. I did buy an all-day and work intensity workshop for myself, so I will not be there, as I am focusing on making Project World Takeover a better place as well. So I will be there, but I will make sure someone from Project World Takeover joins and is there to support you throughout it. If you got any questions, let me know. And remember, LinkedIn post is due on Monday, 8 p.m. So if no questions, then we shall wrap it up. How do you do? How do you do? You know, how do you do? How do you do? Right. Okay, beautiful. Have an amazing week. Thank you so much for joining me today. Or I'll stay for like a few minutes if you got questions and you don't want to ask them with everyone on. I'll stay for a little bit. So yeah, if you know questions, au revoir. If you got a question you would want to stay behind, I'll stay for a few minutes. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful people. All right, cool.